Danger Dolan. From choices where nobody wins to figuring out what your online persona is, we count 15 of the hardest choices in all of gaming.
Number 15.
In Bioshock, you're pretty quickly confronted with a serious choice. Do you want to be altruistic and be less powerful, or do you want to be evil and have an easier time at the game? The little sisters don't exactly look pleasant, but all in all they're still little girls, and killing them, even though it's a video game, isn't an easy thing for many people to do. Luckily, even if you don't kill them, you end up being able to get everything, but not as quickly as if you were to take their Adam.
Number 14.
Dragon Age Origins, killing or sparing Loghain. Loghain is the cause of a lot of mayhem in Dragon Age. He kills off most of the Grey Wardens, including your mentor, as well as just being an all-around crazy person. But still, the death penalty for being crazy is a little harsh to most people. In fact, most of the time when you choose mercy in a game, you are rewarded with good points, and your good guy crew will appreciate it. However, if you don't kill Loghain, the righteous member of your crew, Alistair, will leave your group for good, making the choice all the more difficult.
Number 13.
Choosing a starter Pokemon. Sure, in the later games, not all of the Pokemon's aesthetics will please you, but most people like at least 2 of the first gen Pokemon. It's not like it's a matter of which is more powerful, because let's face it, Pokemon isn't a difficult game. On top of everything else, you really want to have every Pokemon. I mean, that's the point of the game, right?
Number 12.
Persona 4, choosing the killer. Generally, in a video game when you're presented with a choice, you're given a short list of people to choose from, but not in Persona 4. In this game, you have literally every named NPC as a choice for who the killer is, thus forcing you to have paid attention to all the clues across the length of this long as balls game. Of course, everyone and the dog has had Persona 4's ending spoiled and knows that Adachi is the right choice. But when you take that meta aspect away from the decision, it's definitely a hard choice to make.
Number 11.
Choosing a name. Taking away the games that have an officially named main character, it is not easy to go through every name you know and apply it to your avatar, especially when you take online RPGs into consideration. Sure, some people always go with their real name, but honestly, where's the fun in that? The choice gets super hard in MMORPGs when just about every worthwhile name is taken, including your favorites. That is, unless you're one of those people that just adds a bunch of X's to the beginning and end. Mr. Sephiroth, Legolas, Triple X barbecue sauce?
Number 10.
Spec Ops The Line, soldier or civilian? Choosing which innocent person to kill is a real kick in the morality bollocks. I mean, this whole game is a bunch of horrible things, but luckily you didn't actually make the hard choices. Of course, there's the other aspect where you can take on an entire army in order to save them both, but this is frustratingly dull and difficult. If you do choose to kill either prisoner, Adams will be angry at you and the game will give you the damned if you do achievement. If you kill the oppressors, Conrad will call you insubordinate and the game will give you the damned if you don't achievement.
Number 9.
L.A. Noire, the Golden Butterfly. In this game you have to try and read facial expressions, read between the lines of speech and evidence to come to a conclusion on who committed which crime. This case leaves most people unsatisfied. I mean, sure, one of the suspects is a pedophile and should be in jail, but it doesn't actually feel like either of these suspects is guilty. So no matter which choice you make, you don't actually feel like you've carried out justice and done the best job possible.
Number 8.
Fable 2, Sacrifice, Love or Wealth. Despite the lack of a boss fight, this game has an ending worth remembering. The final choice in the game has you choose between money, saving your family and loyal dog, or saving the lives of thousands of people. If you want to be good, ignoring the DLC, losing your dog makes certain achievements impossible, but then if you don't choose the sacrifice option, you don't make the noblest choice possible. Even if you want to be evil, losing the dog gives you a post-game disadvantage that few people would want.
Number 7.
Mass Effect 3. Ignoring its rather glaring fault, this decision stood out as an engaging aspect of the game. If you played the cards right throughout the whole game, you don't have to choose which race will be wiped out, but not everyone made those choices. Not only are you choosing between 2 entire races, but you also have a figurehead, a personal and emotional attachment in the way of a squad character behind each choice. If you like both Legion and Tali, it's incredibly difficult to choose between them.
Number 6.
The Witcher 2 is full of choices that matter much more than the majority of games out there, including any BioWare game, and the pinnacle of all these choices is the decision to side with Orveth or Rosh. It's hard to know just how big the consequences are for this choice at the time. I mean, most decisions don't completely change about half of the game's story and gameplay, yet this one does. However, even if you take out that factor, it's still a hard decision to make. You either choose the person that helped you escape from jail, or the person who had been wronged by the whole world. On top of that, both people have ingrained prejudices that are completely understandable. Neither one is more righteous than the other.
Number 5.
Bastion was a phenomenal indie game, one of the best there is, and the ending choice is no small contribution to this fact. All through the game, you wander through the non-Euclidean wasteland of the land you once called home, you face hardships and go through hell to save what little you can. And at the end, you're faced with a choice. Undo the calamity and face the risk of it all happening again, or move on and leave the dead behind.
Number 4.
Metal Gear Solid 1: The Torture Scene. This choice is a combination of actual physicality and storyline. Ocelot is torturing you for information, and the way you resist the torture is by button mashing like there's no tomorrow. If you give up the information, Meryl will die. If you don't, she will live, but it's not that easy. No one actually enjoys hammering away to control a button as quick as possible. For some of us, it physically hurts to do so, thus making the player want to give in a very real sense.
Number 3.
Heavy Rain. Kill the drug dealer or don't. So the drug dealers aren't exactly the pinnacle of humanity, but even still, they're just people trying to make it through life like the rest of us. And the drug dealer in this situation is one that has kids and family, just like the main character. So when you're given the choice to murder him in order for a chance to save your in-game son, it's not exactly easy. I mean, if you took the poison in the previous round or a previous playthrough, you also know that not everything in the situation is real. But you do know that killing the drug dealer won't be fake. You know the act of murder is real, which just makes this decision that much harder to do.
Number 2.
Infamous. Save the doctors or your girlfriend. This is a decision much like the one in Fable 2, but it's much more personal than that. You have a choice to save a group of doctors who could help you treat, prevent and cure the plague that is going through the city, or to save your girlfriend. So basically, this is a choice of saving the city or saving the one closest to you. Not an easy choice to make if you want to be a decent human being. This choice is later cheapened by the fact that no matter which choice you make, your girlfriend will die. But that doesn't make the actual decision any easier if you didn't already know this beforehand.
Number 1.
Telltale's The Walking Dead, pretty much the whole game. Telltale has nailed the art of making hard decisions, where almost every integral choice you make is one where there's no ultimate right or wrong. Sure, you could argue that saving a young child is better than saving a young adult, but in reality, when both of them are good people, families that will miss them, it's tough to do. Not only that, but they put up a very short timer on the decision, so you don't have the time to look up what decision does what, making it almost impossible to cheat like most other video game decisions, thus making them the hardest choices to make in video games. That's it for this countdown, and have a good one!